of a 4 seasons lost. In Austin, I saw, pause, my eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, motives reflected. Often mirrors appear, clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raving the grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose.
In paradise. Yes, we do. We manifest dreams, and we do it on the Unpopular Hour. And welcome to the Unpopular Hour. I'm your host, Matt Clark. Of course, I got my boy Drew Hinthorn of Drew Hinthorn Picks, or excuse me, Husker Drew Picks.com. I just hate saying Husker. I think it has something to do with the past. That wears me out with that. That wears me out with that. But hey, Drew, you don't know today I'm wearing that ugly ass red. Well, it's not ugly, it's USA color, man. I'm wearing red. So I'm doing that, making it look a little better. So anyway, how you doing, man? How's everything going?
I'm doing all right. I just got back from the urgent care from that beating I took last night. But other than that,
it wasn't that bad, bro. Come on now.
That was my first losing night this week, so I'll take it.
Well, I mean, but there was some crazy stuff going on last night. To be honest, Drew. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, really.
I turned the Memphis game off, and I literally was watching. I was watching something else.
Well, to be honest, who thought they were going to fall apart like that? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I did not think they were going to fall apart, and the way that they did, which is just ridiculous. So, but can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I got you now. Okay. I don't know what was going on. It's probably I think it was on my end.
Well, I had to turn off my little speaker a lot of times. My boy Jose Fierro gives me a hard time. Hey, turn up your, I can't hear you. I'm like, boy, get out the dump truck, hell. Or turn up your stuff in your dump truck, man. Get the hell out of there. So it's kind of crazy. But anyway, well, let's get into it, Drew. Last night, man, I'm going to go over our NBA round scores last night. The T-Wolves and the Grizzlies. Let's talk about that game first. You said you turned the game off. I'm sitting there. It was 79-54 with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. And there's no one thought. Very few people were watching the game. I know I stopped watching it. And they go on a 50-16 run. And really 15-13 because that last three at the end really didn't matter by Edwards. But so they went on a 50-13 run, got outscored 37-12 in the fourth. What the hell?
I mean, it's a massive collapse. I mean, where is an assistant coach or somebody that grabs the coach and says, hey, we got to run a play, get the ball inside, stop the bleeding, run the clock. I mean, they just kept coming down and shooting bad shot after bad shot. I mean, it was bad.
Well, but Drew, think about this. Towns had 8 points.
Yeah.
He only had 4 shots. He had more turnovers than shots. How are you? They have nobody as big. I mean, Steven Adams, yes, but Steven Adams can't guard you. We saw him kill Steven Adams when Steven was in Oklahoma City.
He should use Steven Adams up every play.
And he had 8 points. He took 4 shots. How are you the best player supposedly on the team, and you take 4 shots?
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. I mean, if he doesn't get them 20 to 25 points, they're not going to win a game.
No. And I don't know, like he goes after the deal, he didn't want to talk about his, how bad he played or whatever. And I'm like, bro, you get paid $30 million a year. Your job is to answer the questions held by the reporters after the game. That's your job.
Yep.
So I don't want to hear about the nonsense about how, you're going to go home and drink wine and, and depress, or you don't want to, or decompress, and then you don't want to talk to reporters. Bro, you play like crap.
Part of the job.
Yeah, Westbrook did the same thing. I'm like, really? Bro, just admit, hey, I played terrible. We all know you played terrible.
Yeah.
So
we got it on tape.
Yeah, but when I look at it, they talk about Ja and how great he get. Yeah, he had a triple-double, but Drew, he didn't play that great, to be honest.
No, no,
I mean, Desmond Bain is the one that did all the work.
yeah,
I mean, you look at the
yeah.
Grizzlies.
That and the guard, the 24, he killed him.
Yeah, Brandon Clark. So
Clark.
they had Brooks had 11, Ja had 16, Desmond Bain had 26, Brandon Clark had 20, Jones 11. And when you look at the T Wolves, Edwards 19, Vanderbilt 10, Towns 8.
Yeah,
8. D'Angelo
that
Russell 22.
Brooks
Beverly
hit some
14.
big shots there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. But you know what, though, Drew? The bottom line is the Grizzlies, you can't fall apart like that. You go get a win at home, on the road. You have this in hand, and your big fella is a no-show. So now all the pressure is on you to win that game 3. And then let's just move on because that game, I'm done talking about that crap, man. But
I like the T-Wolves tomorrow night, but I tell you what, I could see them if they don't have a good first quarter and they let that carry over into the game. They may not win another game.
Yes, and when you're speaking of that, the Mavs and the Jazz. Speaking of carryover, your boy, I don't even know what to say about Brunson. 31 again. I mean, is there something you want to say? I mean, really?
Yeah.
I mean, where is this kid coming from? I mean, I know he was at Villanova and they won the national title and everything, but I didn't see this out of him. There's no way I saw this. Did you?
No, I did not. It's just that game up there last night. We talked about it before that. I didn't foresee Dallas beating them up there without Luka. I mean, I don't know.
No, I agree with that 100%. But when I think about it, I look at the scores. The fact that the Mavericks had 7 guys in double figures. You know what I'm saying? They had 7 guys in double figures. True, 7.
Yeah, I mean, Brunson getting 30. I mean, where did he come from?
Well, but he's been doing that really all year, but backing up Luka.
Mm-hmm.
But when he played Oklahoma City, when the Mavericks played, he killed us. He killed us because we had no answer for him. So when I look at it, I'm like, man, this kid is just really coming to his own. It's almost like Jordan Poole's coming to his own too, there with the Warriors. Same thing.
Pool time.
Pool time.
The pool party.
And then the Jazz, dude. Bogdanovich 24, Gobert 15, Conley 21, Clarkson 14, and of course Donovan Mitchell 32. I think it's time they break up that deal. They are fantastic front season runners, but they're not built for the playoffs. They can't stop the pick and roll. Rudy Gobert bikes off of Kleiber every time, and Kleiber's just killing him. He had 17 last night, Drew. They can't beat him in the pick and roll. When they're killing him in it.
And what's a guard? Guy from the Lakers. That played for the Lakers. He's not doing anything. Clarkson. He's not doing anything in the playoffs.
He had 14 last night.
Yeah, but he's got to be more assertive. He's got to get to the free throw line, and he doesn't do that.
He doesn't do it well at all. He doesn't do it. He doesn't like he's doing anything. But the Jazz, they're in trouble.
Yeah,
they're in trouble, Drew. And Mike Conley, you got that big bag that you got, and Donovan Mitchell got his big bag. And it seems like since they got their bag of money, Conley's out there messing around. He had 21, but like I tell people, and Mitchell had 32. Like I tell people, you can score a bunch of points, but it's when you score them, not that score, but when.
Is Luka gonna play?
I say game 5, like I said in the very beginning for this series when you and I are talking, I believe that if Dallas wins 3-1, I think you sit Luka and rest him even more. That's what I think. If it's 2-2, I think Luka has to play game 5. But it depends. Is it 2-2 close? You know what I'm saying? Is it 2-2, you lost game 4?
Or do you play him and try to go up 3-1 and then you got 3 games to win 1?
Yeah, but man, if you play him too early, if you can get him that day rest, man, that's
3 days rest.
3 days rest. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge for that
But
cat.
they would play until Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So to me, this game 4, I think depends. If Dallas barely loses in game 4, I think you maybe sit Luca for game 5 and then bring him back for the two most important games 6 and 7 because I think Dallas can beat them with Luca. I don't think they can beat. I don't think the Jazz can beat. And like last year, how the hell did you lose to the Clippers
Mm-hmm.
without Kawhi in the
Yep.
playoffs? I mean, really? So I don't know. Okay, for our last game last night, the Warriors and the Nuggets.
That was a pretty competitive basketball game.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I mean, Jokic, he did everything he could. He didn't get any help last night.
yeah, he 37 and 18, but Drew,
Yeah.
he had 2 costly turnovers.
Yeah,
I mean,
right there.
got
right
stripped.
then. Hurt.
And he threw a bad pass before that. So those
Yeah.
2 turnovers hurt him, but at the same time, all year long it's been, hey, let's give the ball to Jokic, and then everybody cut, move, and let him do his thing. But you know what? They're hurting. They have no Murray.
They're missing Jamal. That hurts them a lot.
And they're missing Porter. Both of
Yeah.
them. They're missing both of them really bad. So, but, I'm just saying, how do you give the MVP, the 6th seed, the MVP? I mean, I understand the Russell thing because, we were all enamored. Excuse me, I wasn't. Everybody was enamored with his triple doubles, because that was something that hadn't been done. But at the same time, Oklahoma City cheated and allowed Steven Adams to allow him to get rebounds. That's what happened in that. I mean, quite frankly. I mean, let's call it what it is. So, but I do understand giving him the triple-double, the MVP for that. But Jokic, how do you not give it to the big fella in the Sixers? I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, Embiid's my MVP. We talked about this during the year. I mean, he's been the most consistent, the most dominant, and on the 1 seed basically, or what are they? The 2 seed.
2 seed.
Yeah, so the 2 seed, and they're about to sweep their opponent, and he's hitting threes at the buzzer. I mean, the eye test here would give it to Embiid for me.
Yeah, I agree. And because when you look at this game, the Warriors though, with that 3-headed monster they got right now. Hey, I was listening to this show this morning. I'm not even gonna say who this guy is because it just wore me out that he even came up with this take. He said that
Is it Skip
no,
Bayless?
it wasn't Skip. Skip's not even this stupid. Skip says some stupid shit. Like, I mean, he really, really does. But, but for him, for this right here to say, well, Steph Curry needs to, be the greatest boy. He need to be consider himself as the greatest team player of all time and come off the bench. What? What? Keep coming off the bench. What? That is a person who's never played the game. That's a take. If you played, you're not one of the greatest shooters of all time, and you're going to come off the bench.
If not the greatest shooter of all time.
Yeah, he's the greatest. I mean, my bad about that. Let me give him his props, Drew. He's the greatest.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, he's the greatest shooter, dude. I've never seen anybody shoot like him.
Larry Bird, right?
I didn't say clutch. I said greatest shooter. I didn't say clutch shooter. Clutch shooter's Bird without hands down. Forget it. We're done. If I got, like I told you, what did Pat Riley say? If my life depended on it, even though he's a late, give me 33.
Yeah.
If your life depends on the last second shot, excuse my language right now, so people gonna be mad at me, but give it to the white boy. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, white or black, that he was nails.
Yeah, but you gotta remember though, back in our day and at that point, at that period of time, black and white issue was very huge.
Oh yeah.
And that boy, Larry Bird, woo, and you and I being Laker fans, we hated him.
I hate it. Still do.
I mean, hated him, man.
Still can't stand him or McHale or Parrish.
Or Dennis Johnson or Danny Ainge.
God rest his soul.
Oh God, dude. But I'm gonna tell you this though.
Danny Ainge. I mean, I'd name them all. They all wore me out.
Oh, hated him. Then your boy. What's my man's name? Bill. What's his name? He came off the bench.
Bill Walton.
Bill Walton. Yeah, him. Couldn't stand him. I mean, just. Anyway, it's Boston. I dislike everything Boston except the Bruins because I'm a huge Bobby Orr fan. He's the one that made me like hockey. But
Right.
other anything Boston Red Sox, I can't stand. Patriots, I can't stand. And the Celtics, I can't stand. Sorry.
And I don't own a green shirt, so that'll tell you right where.
Well,
Right.
I don't. I gave away my one green
my
one.
closet right now, and there is not a green shirt in my closet.
Well, I had a green one because my boys all went to McGinnis that I coached, and they bought me a green Matt Clark Basketball Academy shirt, so I had to wear it because those are my boys, and I had to wear it. And I no longer have it, by the way, because
Yeah.
and I've probably worn it, Drew. They gave it to me 7 years ago, 6 years ago. I probably worn it 4 times.
And how many of those were on St. Patrick's Day?
All.
Right.
I take that back. One time I did wear it to a game because all the parents had them. So the coach and the kids and everybody wore. So I wore it for that one time, and then after that, it was my St. Patty's Day hat or shirt, no doubt. But now it's not because I gave it to my boy Mark Long because he was whining. Oh, I love that green. Hey, you can have that green, bro. Here, let me wash it and hand it to you. Take this shit. You know, it's just like this red USA shirt I got on today. If it wasn't for USA, I wouldn't have it on.
I got a lot of red shirts. I don't have any maroon shirts.
Well, you know you got red because your ass is up in Nebraska. But I don't have but this is the only thing red I consider red, OU, and crimson, whatever. This is the only red I got in my closet.
I tried to wear a crimson shirt one time, and it just didn't work. Just didn't work.
But, you know, I catch crap because of the simple fact that I have it on. So, you know how that – I mean, Drew, you know how my boys are, man. They ride me hard. You know that. You know they ride me, you know. And I can't blame them. I ride them too, you know.
Right.
So yesterday I'm doing the Arts Festival. We didn't do the show yesterday because I did my good volunteer stuff yesterday at the Arts Festival.
Barbecue Shack looked like they had throwing out some good food.
Oh, dude, man, I'm gonna tell you what.
Yeah, I Brett Brewer and the barbecue.
Oh, they were on the other side. They weren't close to me, or I would have. Didn't get to them. Did not. We decided just to go after we got done. We went to Neighborhood Jam and had breakfast. Which, have you been to Neighborhood Jam yet?
I have not.
Dude,
how is it?
It's pretty tasty. So, and we walked in there. The girl goes, first thing she goes, "You guys want mimosas?" I'm like, does it look like we hung over? I just came from volunteering. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. I can't drink at 1:30 in the afternoon, even though I had a couple beers earlier than that. Because what happened, Drew, is that we got a brand new keg, and somebody needed to test the Coors Light.
Right.
You know, I didn't want anybody to get poisoned.
Who else but you? I mean, come on, that happens.
I mean, it happens. They did the Blue Moon, but I'm not a Blue Moon fan. I'm not doing that Blue Moon. I'm not. Do you like Blue Moon?
I do. It's got to be cold. It's got to be real cold.
Yeah, I just can't. I just have not gotten into it. So, but anyway, okay. Let's go on to our bracket, Drew. We're gonna break down. Do you want to do the East or the West Conference first? The breakdown.
Start with the East.
Well, don't be so cheery about it. Well, hey, first of all, who are our games today? Let's go over our games today. Our games today are the Suns and Pelicans.
That's the late game. That's 8:30 start. New Orleans.
We got the Heat and the Hawks and the Bucks and the Bills. Those are our games today. Okay. So let's break those down. Then we'll go back and break down the rest of the Eastern Conference. But okay, the Suns and the Pelicans. Who do you like now that we know Booker is not playing, even though he says he is? But I don't see that happening.
Well, you know, I mean, the Suns have been playing all year, you know, shorthanded. They played without Paul, shorthanded, and they won whatever it was, 15 games in a row or something like that. I think they'll rally. I think with Chris Paul playing, part of me wants to take the Pelicans, but the Suns are 64-18 for a reason. I look for them to rally, and I honestly don't think the game's going to be close.
Yeah,
I think they'll play better. I think they'll rally around Paul. I think Puff Johnson will step in and make some shots. I think he'll have a better night than he did the other night, and I look for the Suns.
Well, man, that's a UNC boy, ain't it?
Yep, that is Cameron Johnson.
I had to throw that in.
Hey! Don't even get me started. I mean, have you seen the way too early top 25?
Oh my God, dude! We're not talking about college basketball today. So
I'll give you one guess who number one is.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Come on.
Look, I'm putting my.
If Caleb Love comes back
hey,
to school, it's over.
I'm putting myself on camera right now, people,
Uh-huh.
because this boy and his damn Tar Heels, he wears me out with these damn Tar Heels. Okay, so I needed to get on camera so you could see the pain that I'm feeling right now because we're not talking about those stupid Tar Heels. Okay,
Okay. Hold on.
but this boy here, I'm surprised he ain't. I'm sad. I don't even want to bring him on to camera at any point because I know he's gonna have that blue on. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I know he's gonna have that blue on whenever I see him. So
I got my Oklahoma City Thunder shirt on today.
oh good. Hey, in fact I'm gonna start doing my show. I'm gonna call it Thunder Thursdays. After the storm, it's gonna be Thunder Thursday. So every Thursday I'm gonna do some Thunder stuff. So you want to come on Thursdays? Just type it up on your Thunder things. We're gonna talk about it. So
I'll send you a picture of it. Randy got this for me.
Oh Lord, yeah, I definitely gotta see it. Okay,
Yeah.
the Heat and the Heat and the Hawks. Who you like?
Man, I'm gonna go with the Hawks. Bounce back tonight. Ride Trae Young. I think the Hawks plus the 2 points. We thought they'd win one game. I think this is the game they win.
Yeah.
Friday night in Atlanta, place should be rocking. They play a lot better at home than they do on the road. So this is a must win for them. If they go down 3-0, they're cooked. So
yeah, I agree with that. I think that if they don't handle their business, if they don't do what they need to do with that, they're done. And Trey has played terrible. What is he shooting? 4 for 17 or something from 3 or whatever, something ridiculous. I think that'll change. Because like what I tell people, the playoffs, now you know how they're going to play you. So you kind of know what's happening. You know what you're going to do. You're at home. The place is going to be rocking. Atlanta's going to be going crazy.
It will be a Friday night too.
So I think it's just going to be insane what's going to happen there. So I do believe the Hawks are going to bounce back.
That's pretty good sports town in Atlanta tonight. You got the Hawks, and then you got the Braves and the Marlins.
Why are we bringing it? We're not talking about they're not even in your VIP today. God. Go ahead, Drew. Talk about your Braves. Go ahead. Get it out the way.
No, we're not going to talk about them.
No, you got to talk about your Braves, man.
They're 6-8. They got a little bit of a World Series hangover. Braves really don't start playing until after the All-Star break. So.
Oh, my God. Dude, we're just going to struggle with you, aren't we? Between the Tar Heels and the Braves. We're just going to struggle with you. Thank God we won't have to struggle about the damn Cornhuskers. We won't have to worry about them. So that'll be good. So
you do something.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that.
We may have to do a live remote from up here for OU Nebraska.
Are they coming up there?
Yeah, September 17th.
What is it?
September 17th.
Guess what? I will not be wearing this red USA shirt. I'll tell you that. That is not happening. I will not be wearing
black on black. That's the way to do it.
I won't be. Well, I do have a lot of black in my closet.
Just murdered out.
Okay, Bucks and Bulls. Who do you like?
Oh man, I've waffled on this game all day, but I think I'm going to go with the Bulls. Especially with the guard being out for the Bucks, that hurts them.
You mean Middleton?
Yeah, that's a big loss.
Yeah, MCL for the rest of the playoffs.
Let me ask you this: what do you think is the bigger loss? Do you think Middleton for the Bucks or Booker for the Suns? The way it affects the way the team moves forward. In this series.
In this series, it's definitely Middleton.
Yeah, I think so too.
I look at this thing. DeMar DeRozan can score point for point with Giannis. So I think they're a wash. So I don't think that you can there's no way. I think both sides go that way with that. So I think that's a wash. But then after that, Drew Holiday can score a little bit, but I don't know if he can keep up with Zach LaVine. Okay? And then not to mention –
really didn't play all that great the last game. I didn't think. He was all right, but he didn't just.
And then I'm gonna give Vukovic the edge, don't you think?
Yep.
Because I like him a lot.
I like the Bulls tonight. I still think the Bucks probably win the series, but this series, if they win tonight, you're looking at a 7-game series there.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. And if it goes 7. I'm going to give the Bulls the advantage on 7. Well, no, I'm going to give the Bucks the advantage at home.
The Bucks have a home game.
Yeah, I'm going to give the Bucks the advantage at home. I think the Bulls
don't going 7 in round one.
You know, to me the Bulls have to get the next two at home. These two at home.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to
Yep.
get these two at home. And I love Chicago. It is absolutely my favorite city. And I think the Bulls have to get this one for sure. And if they get Game 4, I think the Bucks 3-1. The Bulls going back there, they could close them out. And like I said, Billy Donovan has done a hell of a job coaching, man. You know,
Yeah.
I did like I said, I didn't respect him a lot here, but he's done a hell of a job where he's at playing for the coaching for the Bulls. So
Yep.
if I have to do it, I'm gonna take him, simply take the Bulls. But I think the Bulls will win this game. Now, what are the odds for today? By the way, well, we'll do those at the end. But anyway, I take the Bulls. I think the Bulls got to win the next two. I think if they're up 3-1, I think Giannis has one of those 45 or 46-point games in him, like he did Game 6 of the series last year in the championship series. And I think that's what it's going to take from him. He's going to have 45 or 46 every night for them to beat Chicago.
Right.
I mean, those monster games, if he can get it done. The question is if. You know what I'm saying? If. So, but anyway, hey, we're going to take a quick break, Drew, and come back, and we're going to give our sponsors a little love. And everybody hold on. We'll be right back with the Unpopular Hour with my boy, Drew Hinthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com. Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and I'm here with my boy, Drew Hinthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com. Would like to take this time to thank my guys at Collaborative Logic, my IT sponsors that, take care of everything and make sure this live stream is rolling, because I try to explain the difference between a live stream and a podcast. Alive, if you screw up, you screw up. It's right there in front of you. Podcast, if you'll notice podcasts, they have those little glitches. That's an edit. Okay, live stream.
That's why I go on video.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right, so I like that. And then, of course, my guys at SRB, if you need engineering or surveying, they're great at that. And, of course, Oak Grove Trucking, if you need some stuff hauled off. And, of course, our boy Max Nafee and Craig Nafee over at Nafco. So those are my peeps. Appreciate the sponsorships, and we've got some more people going to be coming in and doing some more stuff with us, so I'm excited about that. Now, Drew, let's break down the bracket play. You said we're going to start with the East. Miami and Atlanta. Do we think there's going to be 4-1 or 4-2 in that? Miami. Or you think Atlanta's going to come back?
Well, if the Hawks win tonight, I could see it going 2, but I don't know. I just have this feeling that they're just not going to get swept. So, I mean, I could still see it going 4-1.
4-1, and I just think it's a horrible matchup for Atlanta. Miami is the way they play defense, and so that's like what I think with Philly. Maxey is not going to be running up and down the court, getting all these easy layups and transition baskets like he's doing against Toronto. He's not going to be able to do that against Miami. They're just not going to handle that. Philly and Toronto, who do you like there?
Oh, I think Philly closes it out about 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Toronto will be done.
Well, see, I think Toronto will get one. I do, Drew. I don't think they'll get swept. I think they'll get one. They probably should have won the game.
I think if they were going to get one, it was Game 3, and Embiid ended that.
Yeah, he did. And your boy James Harden once again fouled out. No show. He's just not a playoff guy. He worries so much about not getting calls that it just gets in his head. Dude, this is the playoffs. They're not going to call all that little, and he's sitting there throwing his hands up, jogging down court all mad, and they're not going to give you those calls. How long have you been in the league, and it hasn't changed yet? How many times have you been on the playoffs, and you haven't gotten those calls, and all of a sudden, and I think the referees, that's one thing I do understand the NBA doing it this way, because they don't want their players to get so beat up and be so physical, and they not be able to get through the 82-game season, so they allow a lot more touchy-feely type stuff, versus the playoffs. They're like, no, you got to stand up and be a man, in the playoffs. So But I think Toronto will get one against them. I truly do tomorrow. But anyways, I think it'll be 4-1 Philly. I think Miami's 4-1, if not a sweep. And both of those could be sweeps, to be honest with you, Drew.
Right.
Both
They
of those
could.
could be
If
sweeps.
Miami, I mean, we talked about it. If Miami wins tonight, I don't see Atlanta winning a game.
Yeah, that's the same thing you've got saying against Philly, but I think Toronto is better than Atlanta simply because Trey is he has no help. I mean, he has zero help. I mean, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? So, but he's got to come up. He cannot have 10 turnovers again. If he has 10 turnovers, Atlanta's done. Milwaukee, Chicago, who do you like?
Man, I just, I think Milwaukee wins in 7.
You think
I
he's
think
going to go 7 without Middleton?
I think Chicago wins tonight. It's going 7.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to go 6 or 7 no matter what. But with Middleton out, I see it probably going a minimum of 6, if not 7. I do believe Middleton out tonight will give Milwaukee an advantage. That's how I feel. I think it'll give them an advantage because simply when one of the best players go out, the other team tends to relax a little bit, like, oh, we got this, and they're not as tightly focused. So I think that Milwaukee has a chance to slide in and get one simply because of that one thing only. And if that happens, then I think it goes 7. I think if Milwaukee loses these next 2, I think it goes 6, and Chicago closes them out in Chi-Town. So that's kind of how I look at that. But, because I know I've done that. When one of the best players are out, you tend to just drop your guard a little bit. They're not as good. It's not going to happen. And that happened with Phoenix when Chris Paul went out. A lot of people thought they were going to, Chris Paul was this, and they won, 15 straight games or something. It was great without him. So
we were talking about earlier is I think even though they're not playing with Booker, I think the Suns can still handle the Pelicans. I mean, the Pelicans are 36-46, and Phoenix is 64-18.
Yeah, I agree. Now that last one, Boston and Brooklyn.
Man,
Game 3 tomorrow night, of course.
I'm going to take Boston in 7.
You think it's still going to go 7, huh?
I do. I think Brooklyn wins. I think Brooklyn wins the next 2 at home. Well, and this is another reason is, and you know as well as I do, this is a made-for-TV series.
Yes.
I mean, this is the best first-round matchup in a long time.
Yes.
They got to have this. NBA needs this to go 7. Networks need it to go 7. Durant's not going to bow out in 4 or 5 games. I don't think.
Dude,
but
0 for 10. What did you give me the stat? 0 for 10. What was he? 0 for 10 and 4 turnovers in the second half. Is that what it was?
Yeah, 0 for 10 and 4 turnovers.
And he had 10 points in the first quarter. After the first quarter.
Yeah. 0 for 10, 4 turnovers, ended up 4 out of 18.
That is just.
And even at that, I mean, 18 shots really isn't enough for him.
No, it's not.
18 times.
But normally, if he takes 18 shots, he's 12 of 18, 13 of 18, normally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I agree with you. And I think he's going to bounce back, even though you and I both thought he'd bounce back in game 2, which he clearly did not. We both thought he would bounce. But, how the hell do you blow a 17-point lead? He and Kyrie both talk about, hey, you don't need a head coach. Yes, you do. You need a coach.
Yeah.
Y'all
and since we've been sitting here talking, that line's dropped a whole point. It's gone from 4 to 3. The Nets were a 4-point favorite. Now they're a 3-point favorite.
Okay, let's go to your picks here, Drew. The Hawks, you had +2. You're taking them at home.
I am.
You're taking the points +2, which I think that's a pretty good deal because I'm like you. I think the Hawks will bounce back and get the W tonight. They've got to. The Bulls +3. I don't know how you an underdog with Middleton out and you're at home.
Yeah.
I don't. It's Vegas, though. They know what the hell. Who am I to talk about Vegas? They know what the hell they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing this a long time. The Suns -2. You like them, even though Booker's out? Even though they said he may play, I don't see that.
I like the Suns there. Like, just to kind of piggyback off what we were talking about earlier. They've played without Chris Paul quite a bit this year. I mean, how many games? 20 games without
20
him.
games, yeah, 15-5 or 16-17-3 or 16-4, something ridiculous.
The Suns, if anybody, they're equipped to rally, plug and play. Maybe change it up a little bit. Try to pound the ball inside. Look for Chris Paul to do what Chris Paul does: penetrate and dish.
And Ayton has got to come up big. I think he's got to have 20. He's got to have 20 and 15, 20 and 18, 4 or 5 blocks. I think he's got to come up big. I think he's got to be the difference.
I like the Suns tonight.
And you got the over too, right?
The best team in the league for a reason, and I don't know. I like the way they're playing, and I look for them to bounce back tonight.
Yeah, and then you have them. You have the over. You're taking the over. Suns
like the over.
over 215.
It's going to be more than 216 points.
I think a lot of people I think it's going to be on fire. I think they're going to be going crazy. The question is, what kind of reception is Monty Williams going to get coming home?
They better cheer him.
You would think, huh?
Yeah. I'd love to have Monty Williams. I'd like to see the Lakers hire Monty Williams.
So Monty Williams ain't going nowhere. Even though the Suns owner's an idiot, I don't see him going anywhere. I really don't.
Toronto gets swept tonight. Is Nurse the new coach for the Lakers?
Possibly.
That's what they're saying. That's big target.
You know what I mean? Why would he want to stay where he's at?
Yeah.
I mean, you're paying more money in taxes, actually your money's worth less than it is in Toronto than according to America. Plus, you're paying more taxes if you come to LA. Plus, the weather, even though Toronto is a magnificent, fun city, if you've never been there, I highly suggest you go to Toronto. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Talk about the city, man, not the gentlemen's clubs. Come on.
Man, I'm talking about the whole thing. You just gonna call me out right here on my show.
Hey, I've been to Toronto. I know all about it.
Wow, they have very good clubs too, Drew, that are not necessarily gentlemen's clubs, and the scenery is quite nice. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go with that. Dodgers, and you take it. You finally got my Dodgers, man. It's about time, Drew.
I like that. I like the over in that game. I think both. That's a early season game between the Pods and the Dodgers. I think the pitching isn't really up to par yet without spring training. So I look for some runs to be scored there.
Well, our people in Oklahoma City appreciate the fact that you finally put. I mean, since we have the AAA Dodgers team here, and by the way, well supported by our fans in Oklahoma too. They go to a lot of Dodgers games.
They draw a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, they do, and the ballpark is great, man. It's a great place to watch a series, as you've been many times to watch the OU, OSU, Bedlam, and as well as
the Big 12 baseball tournament.
That's stupid. That's just
now you get Dallas, where Texas Stadium, and there'll be 9 people there.
Yeah, but my deal is this: why don't you move it from Big 12 from Kansas City then?
Yeah.
And Oklahoma City was tons better place to have it. You had girls and boys right there. You could go across to the Cox Convention Center and watch the girls. It was way more attendance, but of course it's the Big 12 and they do what they do. So they're probably.
I like the Big 12 being in Kansas City, although it's just a KU Invitational. But other than that, I mean.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I do like it in Kansas City. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love the Plaza and it's a great place. But I'm talking about for boys and girls basketball. Not anymore. Now that we don't have. I guess the convention center could hold now that we have that, I guess, maybe. But I do like the fact that we used to be able to go across the street because Randy right now would just go from boys, walk right across the street to the Cox Convention Center from the Ford Center and watch girls. And, in Kansas City, you got to walk up the street. The facility's not as nice. So that particular case, I'm not so much of a fan. But I prefer it being in Dallas. Because I have way more fun in Dallas than I do in Kansas City, and I have a good time in Kansas City. But I have way more fun in Dallas. I didn't
really enjoy the Big 12 basketball tournament when it was in Dallas.
I did. I had a good time.
I guess the reason, but whenever that was taking place, I think the Big 12, in the Big Eight or still at Kemper.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I used to love Kemper back in the day.
Yep.
Kemper was a great place to watch a basketball game. That place was small, and you had where everybody congregated out front. You had remember the old oxen,
Yep.
big
I
ox.
do. I do.
I mean,
Been there
those
a
were the
couple
good old
times.
days. But but the Kansas City does it right. I mean, all that power and light district right there.
No, I agree with you, but I mean, the AAC, with you got everything right down there, man. It's in Uptown Dallas, dude. There's way more fun there than it is in Power.
It's definitely come around.
Uptown is pretty fun, bro. Uptown is a good time.
When the Mavericks first moved in there wasn't anything around there.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But it is now, and then you've got downtown right there. You can go to Deep Ellum right there. Everything is 10, 15 minutes away. I just like it better. And plus it's warmer. I like that too. But Kansas City is a magnificent place to watch it. But I'm with you. How do you move from Oklahoma City? This was a fantastic place to have the Big 12. I don't get that at all.
And it was supported. I mean, the attendance was usually pretty good. I mean, especially think about it this year. OSU being ranked number 2 in college baseball. Just think of the crowds that there would have been this year.
I just think they wanted to do something different. They wanted out of here. I think they're trying to. I mean, they're doing what the hell they're doing, but I'm not a fan of the Big 12 anyway, so I'll just leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? I'll just go ahead and leave it.
Overthink that stuff and burn yourself.
I agree. Now let's go to the West. The West bracket play. We're going to talk about Phoenix. Actually, let's talk about Phoenix and New Orleans. Who do you see coming out of that now? You still see Phoenix. You said they were number 1 for a reason. You still have them.
Phoenix and 5.
Phoenix and 5. I'd say Phoenix and 6 myself. What about Dallas, Utah?
Man. I mean, after last night, I thought Utah was going to win that series, but after last night, I think the Mavericks win it in 7.
Yep. I think you're close. I think Dallas. I think it all comes down to what happens to what is it tomorrow, right? Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah.
If Dallas beats Utah, goes up 3-1. I think Dallas beats them in 6. I don't think Utah is going to allow Dallas to beat them and go out 4-1. I think that Utah gets one of these 2 games in Dallas, and I think it goes back to Utah, and I think Dallas closes them out with Luka at home, crowd going crazy. Hell, that might be a game I want to go down and watch because it's going to be absolutely insane down there.
I tell you, if it's Game 6 in New Orleans, I'm going to be tempted to go watch the Suns.
Well, you're going to be down there, aren't you?
Yes, I am. The Big Sleazy.
Yeah, that's when is that? That would be what, Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday? What game?
I get there. I get there Thursday afternoon early, and I'll be there till Sunday.
It's our boy's 50th, huh? He's finally joining the 50 club.
He is, reluctantly. Yeah, you have to see him. He's out there running around with Kenny Johnson today on a pseudo bachelor party somewhere around Oklahoma City, drinking outdoors.
I'm running from them. I don't want anything to do with that group.
But too.
Because I know all about that group. Your friends. I know how your friends are. And, hey, but you guys have a good time, though. That's all that matters. Okay, yep. Golden State, Denver. I think Denver gets closed out on Sunday.
Yep, that's a sweep, I think.
Yeah, they get closed out on Sunday. Memphis and Minnesota.
Man, Minnesota's got to win tomorrow.
Got to.
They send it back, and it's 2-2. I think it goes 7. I think then they go 1-1-1, and then I think Memphis closes them out in 7.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that game is going to be really important. Tomorrow?
Memphis is a draw. Everybody wants to watch Ja play. The more games Ja's on TV, better it is for the NBA. Yeah. I know that sounds conspiracy theorist wise, but I'm just telling you, your big draws, Durant, the Giannis's, the Trey.
Well, you got to think about, he's the up and coming star. He's young, and you got to look at him. And that's the thing that I loved about him and Anthony Edwards when they went at each other for 30. The first under 22 ever to do that. So, the NBA is solid.
So if Memphis and Golden State, they would play second round?
Yes.
Boy, wow.
Yeah, the way that the bracket works, it would be Memphis, Golden State, Dallas, Phoenix in the West.
Oof,
And then
those
the
are
East,
great.
yeah, in the East it would be Miami, Philly,
Mm.
Milwaukee, or Chicago, and Boston is who you picked, or Brooklyn. All
I
of
mean,
that, any of that is good.
have good semifinal basketball.
Yes,
That's
it
all.
will. Like you said, the TV is very, 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 very happy about what they're seeing right now, what the NBA is bringing. And to be honest, Drew, this is one of the best uh, round ones that we've had in the
Yep.
NBA in a
Well,
very long time.
and you also got to think about it this way. Basically, you've had a couple of years here with COVID that's really hurt attendance and viewing.
Viewership.
With all the COVID stuff and just not having crowds in the stands. I mean, all that stuff is going to play in. They need to have their superstars in prime time.
Yes, they do.
On the weekend. They've got to have it this
yes,
year.
they do. They do. And, it's just like Thunder fans. We were the only team that didn't allow fans to come back after last year. And then nobody was coming to the games at the beginning. And by the time the end of the year, dude, our suites were filling up. You saw the suites doors that were normally closed. They're opening up. People are starting to come back and enjoy it. I mean, it just took everybody a while.
I'm baffled that Oklahoma City was the only one that didn't do it. That just baffled me.
It did baffle me. I understood exactly why they did it, and I know why they did it, but I'm not going to get into it.
As conservative a state, red state, whatever you want to call it, as Oklahoma is, and they just went the other direction on
I'm
the COVID.
I'm not going to talk about it, Drew. I can
crazy.
tell. Off air, I will tell you what the hell happened. On air, I'm not going to tell you what happened.
All right.
I'm not going to get into it. Okay, let's talk about the games tomorrow. We have Mavericks and Jazz. We have the Grizzlies, the Wolves, the Nets, Celtics, Sixers, Raptors, all tomorrow.
All good.
Man, that's Saturday basketball.
I think you're going to have a full day of good basketball tomorrow.
Yes, and Sunday's going to be just as good as well. I didn't have that up. And then we'll talk about it, of course, on Monday. We'll talk about the whole show and what's going to happen with that. And then, of course, now you did, which I'm surprised, you actually did your picks for tomorrow.
I did.
Okay, you did. You're taking the Sixers.
Yeah, I think Sixers close them out. I just think Toronto's done. I think that 3 just gutted them.
Yep.
And I think Harden shows up tomorrow, and I think they run him out.
Run him out. Then you took the Mavs +5.
I just think that's too many points. Utah may win that game, but 5's a lot of points.
Yeah, I still can't believe Utah is the favorite in Dallas, but I guess they don't think that Brunson can do what he's been doing. The Nets -3. No, go ahead.
They don't think Luka's going to play.
Well, I don't think Luka's going to play. I think that's just dumb. I think you hold Luka out as long as you can, but you got to get if like I said, if Dallas is up 3-1, okay, or 3-2, then at Game 6, Luka plays Game 6 in Dallas. That would be on a Saturday or something like that. Or Sunday next week, given that extra week. Yeah, and I think he plays. I think the crowd goes nuts at the AAC. I think it's just going to be insane. You got the Nets -3, huh?
Yeah, I like the Nets. I think KD bounces back. I think he has a big game. I think Kyrie goes off. I think Boston feels great that they're up 2-0.
Lucky.
They could have easily been down 0-2.
Easily, I agree. They had both games, which just gives the Nets some encouragement, like, hey, we gave those 2. Let's go back and take care of this. T-Wolves +3, huh?
Yeah. Man, and that's the one, if you were to tell me which one out of all those picks that I'm really not sure about, and I may end up changing my mind tomorrow, is can the T-Wolves recover from that collapse?
Yep.
I mean, because that wasn't even a game. They were absolutely wiping the floor with those guys. And then just to collapse like that, man, if they get off to a rough start, they might get blown out. They may not win another game in the series.
I agree. And then of course
have a good first quarter. You got to get the big cat involved. If he's involved, I think they bounce back to win it because I've got that series going 7, but it could easily just be done 4-1.
And remember you took them in the over, which I don't know if it's going to be that big of a scoring game, Drew.
What's that?
I don't know if it's going to be that big of a scoring game over 32.
Well, if the T-Wolves win, they better score some points. They're going to have to score 115 points to win the game.
Yeah, they're not averaging a lot. What did they score? They 95, 96 in two
So
games or something
so
stupid.
over under the teams over under is 118 for Memphis and 115 for Minnesota. But I think if you're taking Minnesota, you got to take the team over 115. They're
Got
going to
to.
score 115 points to win.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. Then of course on Sunday you've got your Golden State Warriors -4.
Yeah, Golden State closes them out.
You take them Golden State close them out.
Yeah, I think the longer Golden State's in the playoffs, the healthier Curry's going to get, the more in rhythm Thompson's going to get. I think they're dangerous.
And
They're not really they're just shooting the lights out of it too, and they can spurt on anybody.
And I look at the schedule. They got Memphis and Minnesota, and if Minnesota comes and wins this, that's 2-2. So that's going to give them an extra. Golden State closes it out.
3, 4
They'll
days, 5
give
days.
it 3 or 4 or 5 extra days to get healthy. And I'm with you 100% on that. I'm just going, man. When you look at that, there's just no way. I mean, there's just absolutely no way.
You are right on that. Dallas Mavericks Game 6 would be a Saturday afternoon, 4:30 in Dallas.
Yep, in Dallas, and I just think Luka plays in that game.
Yeah,
I think Luka plays in that game. I just think they close him out in 6. Because the crowd, he'll be packed up. The crowd will just be crazy. And if you've ever seen a game there, it's a great place to watch a game. You know, it's not quite. It's actually, I prefer it over. What do we have? What do we call now the Paycom Center, whatever. I prefer it over that because originally when they built the Ford Center, it was supposed to be patterned after the AAC. But of course, at that time, we didn't think we were going to have an NBA team, and they did it for the Barons or whatever the hell the hockey team was, and Bob Funk and his powerful money that he was making
that
with Express.
Maverick gym's a little bit bigger than the Thunder.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is they were making it as a replica, a smaller facility. But I'm saying it was supposed to be built like that for an NBA team, and then once we got a team, they had to come back and redo the seats and a bunch of other stuff, which they should have done in the first place. So,
what do you think the odds are that Oklahoma City ever gets a new facility?
A new arena?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'd say if and we'll talk about this. If here's his chance, Presley's chance, but we got to get lucky. We have the number 12 overall pick. We have the number 4 overall pick. So we have 2 chances to get the number 1 overall pick. If we have 2 picks inside the top 4 or 5, I think that gives us another chance to give us a run. Now, if that happens and the Thunder stay relevant and we stay winning, I think the chances of you getting a new facility enhance.
Yeah, and they got they got a spot to put it right over there behind where the rowing is.
Yeah, 20 years, you got that place right there, so you can do it really easily. So, but they've got to win, okay. But eventually, I don't care where you're at, unless you're in New Orleans, and they're never going to do anything with the Superdome, but what it is. So
not to jump on Oklahoma City's back, but if you're looking at facilities around the NBA, they're in the bottom 5.
Well, that's because our facility, like I said, was built for hockey.
Yeah.
Okay, not basketball. And now that basketball comes, because we've been in since. Well, we've had the team 13 years now, I believe it is. So that's going to matter. I think it's going to depend on what happens with the team. But like I said, Drew, I think if they continue to win in another 5 to 10 years, I mean, because remember the AAC is older than the Paycom. So and it's nice. It gets around and our facility is nice, bro. It really is. It's not it's trash. It is nice.
No, I'm just saying with all the amenities that you see around the NBA and the stuff that that goes into these
news places.
These places. I mean, Sacramento and Oklahoma City are. I mean, they're about a lot like.
I think Sacramento's the Kings going to end up in Seattle.
I hope they go to Kansas City. I'd love to see them back.
I don't think Kansas City's going to have. They have a professional team in there in Lawrence.
That's
why the Kings didn't work the first time. You got a professional basketball team.
You're right. And I always say that they could support a team, but I think Omaha could too. Omaha's a lot like Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I just don't. I just think that they're going to go. They'd go to St. Louis before Kansas City, or
Yeah, they would.
they'd go to Vegas before
Yeah.
Kansas City. And if I had the choice between,
When I was there for the basketball tournament, they had a lot of petitions that people are signing. They're trying to get one there.
they're trying to get one. But I mean, if you're an owner, where would you move to? If it was me, I'd move to Vegas.
Vegas.
If it's me, I'd move to Vegas. I'm sorry, I'd move to Vegas. I mean, you got hockey there, you got football there. The next step is basketball, and it doesn't.
Destination. It's a destination team.
Yeah, and it doesn't have the same mark or the same stain that it used to have. Vegas is not looked at like it used to be.
No, it's not. And I mean, NFL and NHL are proving that. I mean, and people when they go to Vegas, they want to go catch a Knights game.
Yep. And guess what? The Raider fans go to Vegas every Sunday. Now you talking about crazy fans? Those people are maniacs, but they go to Vegas. They don't. I mean, I mean, why wouldn't you? So. Anyway, brother, hey, let's go. Damn, man, we had a full-hour show today, man. Appreciate you, my friend.
No worries. Good show. A lot to talk about today.
Yeah, now Monday we're going to have a full show. Jesus. Monday, we got a lot. We're going to have 8 games to talk about? 6 games, 7 games?
Well, we might have some semifinals participants ready.
Yeah, we'll have a good breakdown, and we'll know where everybody's at after this weekend. Tonight, the next 3 days. So I'm excited about that. But we've got, 11 games over the next 3 days, 4 tomorrow, 4 Sunday, and 3 tonight. So that's the thing I love about the weekends. We get 4 games instead of 3. You know what I'm saying? And it's all day. It's almost as good as March Madness. Not quite. Not quite, but almost as good. All right, brother.
Want to talk about the Tar Heels? Is that what you're saying?
The what? The what? I can't hear you.
I thought, okay. Baby Blue, let's go.
Oh, my God. I'm done,
Hey,
man.
and we'll know Monday if Caleb Love's coming back to college.
I thought Caleb was coming back. I thought y'all had Baycott and
he has to decide before midnight tomorrow night. So,
well, he already knows where he's going to be in the NBA draft already.
Yeah, they're saying second round or not drafted at all.
Not drafted. I think it's more not drafted at all.
Yeah.
I mean, so anyway.
He needs another year.
I think he needs another year as well. I really, really do. So, but it's up to him. Everybody calls it by themselves. Everybody figures out what they want as an individual. So they've got to go.
I can't say that I'd turn down $5 million or whatever it is. But you know what? But now the North Carolina signed the biggest NIL deal in college basketball to date. So he might be able to make just as much money first 2 years at North Carolina than he will in the NBA or CBL or wherever.
What a shock, man! Shocking. Like I was telling somebody the other day, the only difference between the NIL and how it used to be, it's now legal.
Yep. Yeah. No joke. Yeah. Now we can tax it.
Really, that's all it is. Because before, Drew, let's face it, only the good players got money, and now only the good players get money. But now it's legal. Now they weren't quite getting the money they're making, but people were making there was some pretty good money to be made back in the day. You know what I'm saying? There was some pretty good money back. Yeah, go ahead.
North Carolina NIL system. It's almost like they're getting paid for wins. Points average. It's crazy that the tiers where these players can make this money all by an outside group.
Hey, I'm not opposed to get paid. Because these kids.
Money. I got it, you.
Yeah, but my thing is this: people don't understand that these kids, they have no cash. They have no way of making any money. They don't have, people just don't understand, how bad it is for these guys. Some of these guys, Drew, they don't have cars. They can't do, on Sundays, there's no way to get your food. And, the cafeterias are closed Sunday nights. Anyway, I'm not going to get on my soapbox.
You need one of those Cush Mercruiser jobs.
Yeah. I wouldn't know about that. I didn't have that kind of job, so. I only worked in the summertime, except for the summer. Except for the summer, I was in Brazil. Anyways, all right, my brother. Hey, be good. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, my friend.
I'm off to the trampoline park with the babies. So
all right, take the girls out. Give them some love for me.
All right, man.
All right,
have
brother.
a good weekend.
All right, have fun. That was my boy Drew Hinthorn of Husker Drew Picks. .com, and I think he's going to have a good night tonight. He got beat up last night by some of those crazy games, but things happened that I don't think anybody foresaw happening. So, but anyway, I'm wearing my USA jersey today, my men's, not my women's jersey, because I didn't have any red, and so my boy Jose Fierro and Folk Grove Trucking thought I should needed some red in my life because he is one of those red people. So from Norman. Anyway, so let's talk about the USA women's team, their upcoming games. USA Columbia at Columbia twice on the 25th of June and 28th of June. Then going to Haiti on July 4th, our Independence Day. Then coming home to face against Jamaica on July 7th, and then of course going to Mexico to play against Mexico. And they don't quite have the rivalry with the Mexican women's team as the men have with them. And you can see the difference between the jerseys that I have in that USA insignia is the 4 stars. And the 4 stars versus this indicates that they've won 4 world championships, and the men have yet to win one. So that's the difference in why mine does not have any stars above the USA, because it is the men's and not the women's. So, but anyway, hope everybody have a great Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Remember, stay safe. Don't do anything bad. And remember, do not drink and drive. Have somebody drive for you. And everybody, like I said, be safe. Thanks for watching the Unpopular Hour. I'm your host, Matt Clark. Peace out.